Hello, everyone. I'm Mark.
I'm Rob.
And welcome to Mark and Rob's Sports Showdown. Don't forget about our live show Mondays, Eastern Time from 7 to 8. You can make comments and call in. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Need more subscribers. And make sure you hit that notification bell when you do. And feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments. And we really appreciate those. And today, we're going to talk about Monica McNutt, who I think is nuts. And I'm not sure what her agenda is, other than she feels like she has to stick up for Black women, which is fine. I'm all for that. That's good. Any minorities should be, someone should stand up for them, especially if you're among that. But I question her objectivity, and I'm not questioning her intelligence. I know she's got a master's in journalism. She also played basketball, so I'm not at Georgetown, so I'm not questioning her basketball knowledge. I'm just questioning her objectivity on this and her inability to see things from another person's viewpoint. She was on the show. She's on First Take with Stephen A. Smith, and she was talking in a group situation. And then after Rebecca Lobo indicated that it's clear, because she went and looked at film of other rookies, it's clear that Caitlin Clark has been more guarded, double team and triple teams, gotten more attention from the league than any rookie in the history of the WNBA, as far as Rebecca Lobo could tell. And I would argue that she's got more attention on her than anyone in the league right now in terms of doubles and triple teams. I won't go so far as to say double team and triple team in the history of the WNBA, because I didn't watch enough WNBA to know that. Somebody that's watched the WNBA for 27 years, you can let me know if that's true. I wouldn't doubt if it's true. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is true. I'm just not going to state that unequivocally. And I don't think she's the only one that got picked on physically. Candace Parker is Black, and she got picked on physically, and that was partly maybe because they thought she was straight at the time. Turns out she's bisexual, and also because she's pretty. I don't know. Also because she was very successful from the very beginning and came out with a lot of hype because she won 2 championships and was a 2-time player of the year. So she's not the only one that's been picked on. So let's be clear about that. And she's my third favorite WNBA favorite women basketball player of all time. So I'm biased kind of towards her. Cheryl Miller was always my favorite, and Candace Parker, and now Caitlin Clark. So as you can see, there's no trend with me with race. Anyways, this is what she said after Lobo had said that that the teams have given her a lot of attention. She goes, she probably is, and then she goes, oh, if she's garnering a different level of defensive attention. Now, it's 100% clear that she's getting a different level of attention from any other rookie, and like I said, all the things I just went over. So right. she had to hesitate. She couldn't even say that. Even Rebecca Lobo just said she watched film on everybody and kind of like said, and Rebecca Lobo is really neutral on this. By the way, Rebecca Lobo is biracial. She's Cuban and English. I don't think she has a racial agenda. I don't think she has an agenda for or against Clark. She's been critical of Clark in some ways and underplayed her in some ways. In other ways, she's been very generous in terms of what she said, what's happening with Clark and her abilities. Mm-hmm. And then she said she cannot be babied as a rookie. And we'll get to that response. And then she said the idea that some players are jealous, that probably exists. We'll get to that. That the prevailing idea that it's with the women versus Clark, and women don't understand the power of the eyeball, and that she has helped grow the league, that's just unfair. Okay, well, she has helped grow the league. We're not saying she's the only one that grew the league. And first of all, let's get that out of the way. We understand that this league has been around for 27 years, and a lot of people put hard work into growing the league, and a lot of them were Black women. That's established. We don't have to keep saying that, but I'm saying that just so you know, we understand that. And that's happened in every league, by the way. This is not like a unique thing, like the Black women in the WNBA or the women in the WNBA or the lesbian women in the WNBA. They're not the first person to help grow a league. Okay.
Right.
Every past grade had league, and we give credit to people that pass. And every athlete in the world that's making a lot of money right now through free agencies should thank Kurt Flood.
Right.
Okay. But we don't have to say it every time. We don't have to see. Okay. Don't forget about Kurt Flood. We have thanked him, and other people have. And if you don't know who Kurt Flood is, he was the one that argued. I think he took it to court, right, about free agency And
Yeah,
he's
to the
the guy
Supreme
that's
Court,
all
yes.
rolling for every athlete, at least in this country, about free agency.
Right.
But I want to ask Monica McNutt this question. Like I said, she's married, and she didn't go to like Connecticut, or she didn't go to South Carolina. She didn't go to LSU. So I don't think she's biased because of that. She's straight. All I can think of is she's black. Caitlin Clark is white. I have no idea whether race enters into it. I have no idea why she's always defending the WNBA. All I can tell you is she doesn't seem to be objective, and there has to be a reason why, because she's a smart woman. So
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Go
I mean,
ahead.
she talks about the jealousy. I mean, that's the part you want to get into. For
I-
her denied to say, "Oh well, I think so," kind of. No, there is no think so, kind of. Like we discussed before. If it was you and I'd be jealous too. Just come out and say jealous. I mean, if she was playing, the question I would ask her is that if you're playing in the league right now, would you be jealous of Caitlin Clark? And of course, the answer would be yes or no, not a maybe.
Oh no, she wouldn't. She'd hesitate. Well, maybe I would. Oh no.
No,
I mean, obviously, it's a great question, Rob, and that would end it right there. And maybe she'd have a different viewpoint if someone asked her that. But let's get into the jealousy thing. First of all, it's 100% clear that 143 women in that league are jealous of her, and not just by their actions, just by human interaction and human nature. Okay. Right. I still jealous to this day of other people, and so are you that's watching this video, and so is Rob. And unless you're 75 years old and the most altruistic person in the world, you have some jealousy too. Granted, the older you get, the less you do it, the more mature of an individual you are, the better the person you are, the less jealousy enters into your mind. But it enters into your mind not on a daily basis, but occasionally. And we've all been there. So stop it. So, and I did it twice in videos. I'll do it one more time. There's 5 reasons to be jealous of her.
Right.
Perfectly natural. And it's okay to be jealous of her. I would be jealous of her too. She gets way more money than anybody else. Mm-hmm. She also is white and she's straight. That's one of the reasons they don't like her. And people say she's great. So, stop it. And she gets way more publicity than anybody else, which is probably might be the number one thing, but who knows?
But then to coincide that jealousy with race, that's what's really annoying too. So you're jealous, and then you're bringing into the race, oh, she's white. So that's part of your jealousy. I mean, you're equating it. Oh, I'm jealous of her because she's white.
Right. Well,
you're sticking up for her because she's white.
And I guess it depends on how they view that and whether it's racist or not, because I don't want to accuse them of racist because they're race. But if you're upset that she's white and playing well in your league, or gonna play well in your league, which is another key right there. You're afraid that she's gonna play well. You're afraid that she's gonna be the best player in the league, which is why she gets so much attention. So let's be honest about that, and not just because of that too, but also for all 5 reasons I gave. All 5 reasons I gave, and I can't look into these women's hearts and know if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of those reasons, or a combination of them. It's probably a combination of them. They're all very logical reasons to be jealous of them. Now, hatred is another level.
Yeah.
Do you have to hate Caitlin Clark? That's silly. It's not her fault for any of these things. Last I checked, it wasn't her fault that she's white, that she's straight, or that she signed these endorsements, or makes a lot of money.
It's making money and bringing up the league, bringing up attendance, giving people. So with the attendance, in the arenas, those people have, they need jobs. So if there's only like 5,000 people or 6,000 people in the arena, they're not going to make that much money. But if you're bringing in 17,000 per game, you're going to help out the arena and also the people who work in the arena. So she's doing like double work, almost triple work. Players, arena, the league. So what are you hating? what is your motive?
I don't know, Rob, but I know Stephen A. Smith gave her a hard time when she was saying, well, there may be some jealousy. Like, you can't even say there's jealousy, he said. Like, Stephen A. Smith is at least being objective about that. That's my problem with her. She's not being objective. And it's totally irrational. And, Rob, if I could, she has no ability to stick her shoes into Caitlin Clark's shoes. If I made her play 3 games against the 3 best, most physical defensive teams in the league right now, okay, let's say she's in her prime or whatever, and then she comes back after she plays those 3 games, there's 0 chance she would have the same attitude about Caitlin Clark that she has right now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. With like I said, let's see if you were playing the game right now, and how would you feel that if you were Joe, or if you were one that she was playing, and two, like you said, well, if you're being double teamed and you're playing 3 games out in the West Coast, how would you play?
Or that you're not getting any calls compared to other people. Not any calls. I want to make it clear. She's definitely not getting the short end of the stick. And Rebecca Lobo and other people have said that. Black commentators too. It's not just white people saying this, just so you know. Lots of people have said this. She's not getting the benefit of the calls more than she, not just because she's a rookie, but because she's Caitlin Clark. They're afraid to show favoritism. I have no idea whether the non-white refs have an agenda against her too, because she's white and they're protecting the black women. I have no idea. All I know is there's a decent number of refs in that league that aren't white refs. And the call against her that wasn't called a flagrant one, which was so obvious it wasn't even funny, that she got shoved to the ground by Carter. I also saw the call where she got hit in the head, and it was a clear foul. The refs swallowed the whistle. By the way, some people claim that wasn't a foul. It was against Seattle. What happened was, goes up against Seattle. It was a clean block by the hand, but she actually moved into the offensive player, which was Clark. She moved into him. She didn't stand still, and she leaned in and she bodied her. And then she hit her in the head in the follow through. I don't think she intended to hit her on the head. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying she should have got a foul call. Right. And the ref swallowed the whistle on that one. And then the same ref swallowed the whistle when I think it was Jewel, I'm not sure, backed up against her 3 times and backed up the 3rd time so hard, and Clark didn't flop into the ground, and there was no offensive foul called. Same black ref. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going by that. I have no idea. I can't get in these people's heads. I'm just observing things and saying maybe there's more to it than this.
Well, I think there should be more. Well, since this is a professional league, I don't know if they're hiring referees that are even. I don't know what the level is of refereeing, and like you said, they do get evaluated, but I don't know how they get evaluated to be WNBA ref. But a lot of these refs, I don't know if they just got out of high school refs, or because a lot of it, they're not very consistent and they're not very good at it. And that's league round against all, not just against Caitlin Clark. All the players are complaining about the referees.
Yeah, and it's not just the players or Clark's teammates' fault or anything like that. It's the refs. If the refs don't protect her, or at least give her the benefit of the calls, not on her side, just kind of like right down the middle, they're going to continue to be physical with her, and that's going to be an advantage to them. And that's not fair. Monica McNutt doesn't care about that. She doesn't care.
Well, like I said, my dad was a referee for 25 years. I ref games. So as a ref, you, like I said, you have your thing. My thing was reaching in. But as a referee, you kind of control. They say, okay, this is the way it's going to be called. And if it's up to the players to adjust to where to call. If the referees are going to let it, not going to call anything, like, okay, you can play that way. If they're going to call it tight, okay, you got to play, okay, I can't do this. So the players have to adjust to the way the referees are, because they're human beings. They're not all the same as far as they don't ref the same. They have different opinions and calls. Some might call that an offensive foul, and the other one might call that's a defensive foul. You know, it's on the same course. So, right. You know,
I agree. And listen, I'll give Monica McNutt this. Some people are overstating it. I get that, but she acts like there's no validity to the things that people are saying having to do with Caitlin Clark, having to do with how she's being treated by the league. That's not true at all. So stop it. And she says, well, what did she say? She said, oh, we can't baby a rookie. No one's asking to baby a rookie. We're just asking for fairness. It's like the ref call. We're asking them not to make cheap shots at her, not to hit the person in the head, even if it's, if it's intentional, then that's not good. I don't think on that play it was. But there's been other plays where she's got whacked pretty hard that were intentional. And they weren't even called flagrant ones. They weren't called fouls. And then they call her on ticky-tack fouls.
Yeah,
that mentally throws you off your game.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Sorry, Mark.
Go ahead, Rob.
I just saw an article with Cameron Brink, and she just said that as rookies coming in, she states that people expect them to be perfect. That's what it seems like. She's saying that with when they asked her a question. And that's what it seems like when you come in, you're a hyped up rookie, and you did all this in college. People expect you to be perfect. And that's the pressure she's facing, that the rookies are facing. She said. And
I want to make it quite clear. This isn't just Caitlin Clark and some of this stuff too, because when Angel Reese got suspended the other day for 2 quick technicals, I said, well, the second technical was ridiculous. Give her a chance to settle down a little bit. And it was not and it wasn't in the ref's face. She was walking away and she waved away. So the refs were unfair to her too. I'm not saying that. And when she got taken down by the neck, that was a terrible play. It wasn't even, I don't even know if you call it a basketball play, even though it was happening in a basketball play. It's very borderline. Once you grab someone's neck, that's no longer a basketball play. But the difference is, and Bob Costas made a really good point about that. So Bob Costas is probably the greatest sportscaster of all time.
Yeah, he is.
And he said that, and this is all in defense of blacks, he said that didn't get enough publicity because it was a black on black crime, which is absolutely 100% true. And it also wasn't Caitlin Clark. And Caitlin Clark always gets the most publicity. But there were two things different about that. The reason it didn't get more publicity. Number one, the person was punished for it. She immediately got suspended from the game.
Right.
And number two, that was kind of a basketball play in the sense that they were jostling for position. Clark's the ball was dead.
Yeah, it was a blatant. That was a blatant.
The person didn't. I'm sorry. The person didn't. I'm sorry.
It was like a blatant. It was a blatant attempt to hurt her.
Right.
It wasn't a basketball play.
Sorry. And the person didn't get a foul call against her. That was proper. It was an off the ball single free throw. It was obvious to me. It was a 2, and it should have been at least a 1. And the league changed it to a 1. I thought it was a 2. But here's the reason: is because even though it wasn't a super hard foul, it was blind. She blindsided her, and it wasn't a basketball play, and there was really no reason for it.
It was a retaliation for like what you talked about at the other end of the court, where supposedly Caitlin kind of shrugged her off when she initiated and locked her arm, and Caitlin threw it off. So she got pissed at that, and then when they came down the court, so then she initiated that off the ball play. So that was intent. That was blatant intent. So it should have been a segment too.
Clark haters, and I'm not sure they're all black or not, but the comments I've seen, because I see the picture of them, they're all black. They all say, well, she elbowed her first. She should have been, No, what happened is that Carter was bumping up against her and hooked Clark's arm, and Clark went like this to get her off the arm, which NBA players and WN players do it on a daily basis. And that was she didn't hit her in the head either. It went up to her chest and may have touched her neck. You can't tell in the video. It's very quick. It's there. And that's all that happened. It was a basketball play in the sense that if someone hooks your arm, you have the right to kick her off. Carter was fouling her first. So stop it. That was just an equal play. Right. That's it. She didn't deserve it. Carter just didn't like the fact that she roughed her up and she roughed her back. That's all she did. She didn't like, because she's a bully and she's a coward.
Yeah, she was trying to punk her. That's what you do. You try to punk, and Caitlin's like, well, you're not punking me. So, and then she got pissed that she didn't do that. So when next time down the court, it's like I said, I'm gonna get her shoot. Just wait next time.
Rob, I wish I could do it as well as you when you do. and I saw this other video, and I hate racism on both sides. And please stop calling it white racism or anti-racism. It's racism. Racism is racism. There's no that's all it is. Right. These two black commentators were saying that was a flop, and the other one jumps in and goes, yes, finally it was a flop. And this woman is an attorney. This woman has a law degree. I won't even say her name. I know she is because she does comments with another woman who has a master's degree, and they're constantly being biased against Clark. It's not even close. And these people are educated. They're not being objective. They're saying things that the only reason I can think of is race. I have no idea why. I have no idea why they hate her. But to say that was a flop is the stupidest thing in the world. Stop it. You look like a complete idiot. Anybody that watches that play can see that Clark didn't see it was coming. So she had no time to try to do a flop. And she was blindsided, and she was in shock when she got off the ground. She couldn't believe what happened.
Right. Exactly.
It was unbelievable for you to call that a flop. That's just stupid. God,
grow up. And unfortunately, they are being kind of racist because they're saying that Carter's intent didn't have the right intent, that this happened. It was like a basketball play. There was no intent behind that. There was obvious intent behind that. She wanted to get her back for what happened down the court.
Clearly, they're being racist, Rob.
And I can say that. I'll say that. That's racist to say.
It really upsets me with people that have a master's degree, and they're not like idiots, okay? But they're not objective, and that leads to racism by people. Same thing with white people. There's still a lot of racism in this world against blacks, and these are intelligent, educated white people and dumb white people and dumb black people. And there's still a lot of racism, but if you're objective, you'll take some of the racism out of your thoughts. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, just look at the play. Yeah, all you do is look at the play. And that was the main point was her intent was to hurt her. That was the main intent.
I don't always get it right, but I try. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I don't think they're trying to call that a flop. You're not trying to be objective. That's what I'm saying.
There's, like I said, they're being racist. Like, oh yeah, she deserved to knock that white girl down to the ground.
Well, that's
that'll learn her. No, that's not. What is like? I go back again. What does Caitlin Clark do to these haters? What have they done to have someone hate I mean, dislike, but hate is a really strong word. To hate somebody, they have to do something like
they're so biased against
family, do something to you personally, maybe. But she's done nothing. And then she doesn't say anything. Do you see her whining, getting up at the mic and whining about what happened?
No, she said, "Hey, I just got to accept it." She said,
"Yeah, she's not whining about it."
What has she done besides she just wants to ball?
Right, she just wants to play basketball. So this attention was thrust on her, and the reason why it's thrust on her is because she's a very good one of the greatest basketball players.
Oh no, she's a one-trick pony.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, that's my take on Monica McNutt. I think she's nuts. I think she's biased. I think she's not objective, and I think she looks foolish. She can be insulted by that if she ever sees this. I don't care. I started this channel to be honest and try to give intelligent commentary. I don't always succeed, and be objective. And we talked about Tony Kornheiser, and pardon the interruption, how much we like the show, because both of them, slightly different viewpoint. One's one black. They're both intelligent. And Tony Kornheiser has never said anything racist. He said something sexist once. And he also, he's not overly woke. So he's someone I think that you can listen to if you're not in the extreme left, extreme right. You should listen to him anyways, I think, if you like that type of commentary. Mm-hmm. And I think he looked at this objectively, and Michael Wilmot didn't disagree with him on this. He didn't say the exact same thing, but I'll read what he said. She is being deliberately hit, and let's stress deliberately, and it's a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more sinister than just a hard welcome to the new league. It appears that the intent sometimes is to injure her. Mm-hmm. Now, he's never been ever over the top with things like this, Right. So I'm just giving another perspective at that, and I gave you a perspective.
Monica, the main thing is that probably bothers both you and I is this: not just be objective, but just be real, be straight. You're jealous. Don't say sometime. I think you're just say you're jealous, and it's okay, and you'd be right. You are jealous of what is going on.
Yeah, the jealousy is okay.
Yeah,
and it's natural, and it's expected.
It's okay.
It's a question of how you handle the jealousy. Is the jealousy going to turn into hate? Is it going to turn into a cheap shot? I don't know. That's where it becomes wrong. You're hating her when it's not her fault that she's these things.
Right, okay. And then like we said in the last video, I told them, and we said in the last video, if that's the case, why don't you work on your game and make your game better? Work on your jump shot. Work on your rebound and your defense. So maybe you'll move up to that level. So obviously you're not up to her level. So how about instead? Well, I want to try to be like her. Maybe improve my game. Why don't you do that?
What can I say? That's what I've talked about that before. They would make the WNBA more exciting to people if their level of play went up, especially around the post area, where I think it's easily correctable if they just put more hours into it. All basketball players, this isn't just women, all basketball players are obsessed with a three-point shot right now. And so they don't practice enough around the rim. But the men, there's a ton of men who have that around the rim play. And they also, when they drive to the basket, if they don't have post moves, they have that little floater. And that is very effective. And women don't seem to have that. I don't see any of them shooting a floader. Or maybe I missed it.
Perfect example being a Knicks fan is Jalen Brunson. How is he getting there? He gets in there. He's got the footwork. And guys are guarding him are 6'7", 6'4". They try to put him on taller, and he still is able to get off his shot because of that little floater or if you watch his footwork. So that's what he worked at that because he knows I'm shorter. I can't just drive in or I'm going to get my shot swatted away. So I'll do it this way.
But in general, except for Stephen A. Smith, who unbelievably is the same person in this evaluation. ESPN has an agenda to not criticize the WNBA at all. That's not right. That's not objective. You don't have to attack them like crazy, but there's criticism of the WNBA that's appropriate here. Don't overstate it, but quit pretending nothing's going on here. Because everybody knows it is, and nobody's buying it. You can say it 100 times, and you can interview 6 million people, and no one's buying it except for the people.
Is that because it's a fear that they might be deemed racist, or you think that might be it?
I don't know, Rob.
A little undercurrent there.
I just ask questions, Rob. Like I said, unless it's super obvious, I don't claim racism. I just say, it could be racist. I can't get in people's heads because I don't like it if someone accused me of being racist. So I try not to do it unless it's really obvious. Like
they seem to have no problem doing that with the other sports, with football or basketball. Why with the women's sport?
Why what with the women's sport? Why?
Well, they don't want to criticize it.
Oh, I don't know, Rob, because it's not politically correct to criticize women. I mean, you got women and you have a high percentage of lesbian, a high percentage of blacks. Maybe it's a combination of that makes it too sensitive for them to criticize.
Yeah, well, then they shouldn't be in the business then.
I'm just pointing it out. That's all I'm pointing out. Anyways, we got a live show every Monday, Eastern time, 7 to 8. And hopefully I won't have to talk about race on the live show on Monday. I want to talk about the NBA Finals on Monday night. And this is being recorded on Thursday and June 6th, and the game is tonight. So we'll have a video for you tomorrow reviewing the game, and hopefully people will watch it. They only seem to want to watch what Caitlin Clark videos people put out. But we're putting out NBA Finals too. We're not just going to talk about Caitlin Clark. So please subscribe and hit that notification bell when you do, so you get our next videos. And please like and subscribe and make some intelligent, not insulting content. And if you disagree with me, fine. Just give me an intelligent response and a logical reason for why I'm wrong. And I'll reconsider. I swear to God, I will. I may respond and not agree with you, but that doesn't mean I won't reconsider.
And that's what life's about, different opinions. That's what makes the world go around. All right, y'all? Peace out.
Peace out.